Today I'm going to be reading week 4, which is titled Thank God for the Crushing. And the daily readings on day 1 is Exodus 19 through 21, day 2, Exodus 22 through 25, day 3, Exodus 26 through 29, day 4, Exodus 30 through 32, day 5, Exodus 33 through 36, day 6, Exodus 37 through 40, and as always, day 7 is a catch-up on any readings that you have missed. In chapters 25 through 27 of Exodus, God instructed Moses how to set up the tabernacle, the holy tent, used as a symbolic dwelling place for God before the first temple was built in Jerusalem. Chapters 28 and 29 tell us of the plans for the priests and their attire. God was very specific with his instructions. Before he would manifest his presence, everything in the tabernacle, including the priest, had to be anointed with specially prepared oil. In Exodus 30, God gave Moses his very own recipe for this oil: 12.5 pounds of pure myrrh, 6.25 pounds of cinnamon, 6.25 pounds of sweet calamus, 12.5 pounds of cassia, and 1 gallon of olive oil. You can find this in Exodus chapter 30, verse 22 through 24. Each ingredient chosen for the mixture had to be beaten, strained, or crushed. Of course, to obtain olive oil, you have to crush the olives. The more olives you crush, the more oil is produced. You know, most of us have been crushed in some way. We've been crushed in relationships, at our jobs, in marriage, and even in ministry. But unbeknownst to us, during those times of crushing, God was strategically anointing us for his service. The struggle that you experienced financially stretched you. The problems you endured with your spouse truly devastated you. The issues you encountered at your job put a strain on you. However, it was during those times that you found yourself leaning and depending on God in a way that you hadn't before. Those times forced you to increase your time of prayer, and you found yourself talking to God more and more each day. The crushing didn't feel good, but it was necessary to equip you and develop the anointing you need to carry out your assignment on earth. So when you feel the stress and strain of life, just know that it won't last forever, and it is not in vain. Although the crushing is uncomfortable, God uses it to develop the oil needed to set us apart, so that when others experience our ministries or gifts, it will be evident that God's hand is upon us. Don't despise the crushing. Thank God for it. Which that can be hard to do at times, you know. A lot of times we just want everything to be done and over with, to have an issue-free life and all the problems to be cleared up for us. But God says that there will be trouble in the world, but he has overcome the world. So that's something always comforting, that we can look back on that verse that Jesus said. But trouble's always going to be there, but God will help us through it, and it's always for his glory. It's always for something that he's doing mightily and powerfully in our life. And we might not know it then and now, or the time that it's happening, but one day we will know, and we'll thank God for the crushing. So here are some points to ponder. Number 1, how have you been crushed or stretched in the last year? How did you handle it? Did you pray more or less? Did you go into hiding, or did you push to a better place? I will say for myself, the year 2023 was a very rough year for me. In January, I found out that I was pregnant, and then by the end of March the 24th of last year, I had a miscarriage. and I didn't understand why I had one. And I still think about it every day. I don't think that you'll ever get over something like that. But I didn't stop going to church. But I felt like over time, as I was dwelling on it more, instead of trying to have God to help me to get over it, I was just pushing God to the side, and just kind of fell away for a little bit. And then my cat Ollie, he jumped the fence at my house one day, and he never did come back. And I think about that every day, and just pray that one day that he comes back. That happened in July of last year too. And then we had a cat die too, that we had for about like 16 or 17 years or something like that. We just we had a lot going on, and for me personally, I had a lot of crushing going on for me last year. And then I had a lot of issues at work that was going on, and I didn't understand why God was keeping me at a place that was making me angry and cuss and stuff. But then, as time goes on, God has revealed to me that I am at my workplace for a reason. I have improved greatly over the last while back, spiritually, and just being able to approach people better and not get so upset, and because nobody's worth getting upset over or sinning over. So, and number 2, looking back now, how has God used that time of crushing for your good? And then some actions for the week. Number 1, make it a point to pray for someone who is going through a period of crushing. We all need uplifting in prayer. Pray especially for them this week, that they will be able to endure the process. And then number 2, take action to bring that person solace by sending a note of encouragement, volunteering to babysit, or paying for lunch, or any other ways. So that is it for the week, and I know that we're a week behind, but we'll catch up eventually. So the next time we'll be on week 5, and that's all that I have for today. And I hope that you find a blessing in this video.